Hi, friends, and welcome to July 2025's Art Ritual. So, before we dive in, I want to just say a big gratitude to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. You guys, thank you. Because this is, I think, year 4 now that we've been doing this, working with Art as Ritual. So, I'm just really grateful for the support, um, the continued community, and just here we grow. Here we grow in the season um, of Leo. Technically, we started this in Cancer season 2021. So we might have missed the actual birthday date, but regardless, doesn't matter. You are here. I am here. We are here. And that is really special to me, really matters to me. So our theme this month has been wind. And of course, that comes with this, to me, comes with this uh, inspiration of working with like the winds of change, the shift of seasons. And of course, as we continue through July, which is very close to the end, we will be really working into the deepest parts of summer and then bringing us into the fall come August, September, right? So next month, our theme is actually going to be understanding. And that I feel like is kind of a loaded word because there is much understanding that we can do for ourselves, for the world, and all of that. But today we are here to celebrate Leo. This is a Leo season ritual. As always, pull out your sacred tools, whether that is cards, candles, incense, whatever music you prefer. And of course, as always, art supplies. I'm going to be starting on a fresh page today. If you want to use any different supplies than me, you are, of course, always welcome to do so. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen. So, Leo season ritual, the magic of our creative spirit. We're being inspired in this month's ritual to honor Leo season, but also kind of like reflect on what Leo means. Like what are we taking from this understanding, right? Our introspection, as it were, when we are doing this work, when we're doing the connections, connecting the dots, we all come with a unique take. So some of our goals for today is to explore what Leo is teaching us. In this Leo season, can we fully embody this archetype and the lessons that Leo has to share with us? So those are things we can already start thinking about. Of course, as we're working, write things down that come up to you. If you're watching this recording, pause the video and do what you need to do because that is your prerogative. We're also thinking about making space for connecting with the sun. Leo is ruled by sun and the sun in astrology. It is the sign that represents the height of summer, as I said. And so thinking about summer and the connection of this fullness of the sun, how can we honor that? And of course, how does this connect us to our creative magic? So can we explore mark making in relationship to the theme of Leo to deepen our connection to our own creative magic? So let's talk about Leo. Leo is the fixed fire sign that comes to us at the height of summer. I'm going to say that a lot because we are like taking up space. It is the energy that shines bright as the sun and encourages us to nurture our creative fires. Leo is not simply a flamboyant sign taking up space for the sake of it, but rather that shining a light in this world means it comes in many forms, both big and small, and sometimes soft or loud. Leo is a spectrum, like all things are, right? Or most things are a spectrum. And the energy of Leo, what it means to shine bright for one person looks different from another person. But regardless of how different that might look for each and every one of us, it can inspire others to do the same, sharing that light with joy and play. And so that's one thing I want us to think about when it comes to the sun, is how the sun literally illuminates sharing that light, giving light, right? Leo is, of course, is known as a creative sign. All signs are, but Leo is kind of given a lot of direction to be that, because it is again related to the sun. So it's this idea of taking up space and being seen, right? So here we are on our first journaling prompt. So how do you feel about Leo? Sometimes I think Leo, every sign can get a bad rep. Leo's bad rep is being loud and expressive and maybe taking up too much space, right? Being too much, quote unquote. So already I want you to think about what imagery comes to mind for you. Is there a person that embodies Leo energy for you? Are there symbols? There is the symbol of Leo, but is there anything else that comes to mind? Like, is it something to do with performing arts? Is it something to do with visual arts that specifically resonates for you, right? And on that same note, what colors come to mind for you? And of course, what feelings do you notice in your body around this sign? Do you feel like, oh, this is cringe, I would never be so whatever might be coming up? Or are you trying to like rephrase your relationship with Leo? I think most of us have certain expectations around signs that don't deserve it. They don't deserve the negative hype, right? They don't deserve the flack that they get. There's always duality in every sign. So what do you notice in your body as you think about this sign? And also what words? As I'm talking, please begin to journal, because you don't want to overthink this. Simply go with what comes to mind first, write it down quickly, and go with your gut. Don't go, I don't know. Lion, write it down. Sun, write it down. Roar, write it down. Being seen, write it down. And we're going to keep this moving because I don't want you to really sit too much with these. I want it to really be boom, 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 release it. Think about it, and then put it down on paper. Let it out before you overthink it to omission, right? So some symbols for Leo as you're kind of writing out those things and thinking about this energy. Of course, we've talked about the sun. And what comes to mind to you? Right? So when you read these, the sun, what comes to mind around the sun? Is it growing plants? Is it scorched like earth because it hasn't rained in a long time? Is it hot asphalt? Is it just a sweet feel of sunlight on your face? What does that feel like? Again, just keep journaling, keep writing it out. I want to really encourage you to make this as stream of consciousness as possible, because the less you think, the more we can kind of allow our subconscious to come through. So the lion is another symbol of Leo. Of course, Leo embodies the lion as it's the symbol of this animal. That's the constellation having to do with it. And in relationship to that is the Strength card and tarot. Leo is represented by the Strength card, and this is a card that represents soft power. Be not afraid is kind of a phrase that comes to mind when I see the Strength card. Be not afraid. It is okay to dibble dabble in these things and to explore these energies, right? We can explore being the lion tamer. In the Strength card, we see just such soft understanding around a very formidable beast. And one could see ourselves as the figure or the lion, or it's both. Taming our own wild animal spirit, giving it a home, a place to rest, giving it a place of expression through how we choose to express. So take some time with this, and then I really want you to just kind of observe what you wrote down without judgment. If you feel judgment coming up, just think about the Strength card and that person taming the lion. Your subconscious thoughts that want to tell you, like, oh, that's so cringe. Oh, how could you say that? How could you write that down? That's so corny. If that comes up, I feel like that is so the lion in this card. We tame it, we nurture it, and we say, that's okay. You don't have to roar right now. It's actually not like that. You know? We can say to ourselves, this is a safe place to express what we're feeling, and that's it. So let's do a quick meditation with this sign. This is, again, the Honoring Leo ritual. So allow yourself to get comfy, unclench your jaw. Let's do some stretching. Just real quick, gently stretch in a way that feels good to you, whether that is bringing your hands across, doing some yoga, or just whatever. Again, we're following our intuition here and trusting the process. We're here today to do some creative play. So release any tension you have, shake out the body, and then find yourself a good seat to meditate in, something that feels comfortable for you, whatever that might be. Placing one hand on your art supplies, one hand on your heart, creating that sacred bridge, that hand-heart connection. Begin settling in here. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Noticing any sensations that are coming through your body and feelings. I want you to just, as you're focusing on the breath, your hand on your heart and one hand on your art materials, I want to invite you to repeat after me. I honor. I honor my creative spirit. I honor the fires of Leo. I honor the fires of my creativity. I honor the light of the sun. And I honor the light that shines through me. Deep breath in here. Let it out with a sigh. Just rest here. Focusing on the breath, honoring that light that is within you, breathing into the nose and out to the mouth. I want to invite you to simply imagine a glowing orb from your heart space. With each inhale, bringing in more light to your heart space, and with each exhale, releasing that out into the world. Going at your own pace, inhaling through the nose and out the mouth. Breathing in light and sharing it with your exhale. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last one. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a growl of roar. Inhale, good. Just coming back to the body and your awareness of the space. Gratitude for your heart. Breathing in that gratitude, releasing what doesn't serve. And if you feel ready, allow yourself to come back to your space. Slowly but surely. And what we're going to do first is an active meditation. We're going to draw. It's starting with this sacred circle. It can be as big or small, the center of your paper. And I want you, as you are drawing the circle, allow this visual cue to act as a circle of protection, creativity, and joy, and wonder, expanding all around, shining bright light like the rays of the sun. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Just a nice space honoring that energy of Leo and the sun, shining bright, shining creativity, shining growth, expansion, and life. We're going to be playing today. So remember, using the colors you picked for Leo, maybe you didn't think of any, that's okay. Just kind of go with what feels right to you, but use this time to play. Engage with Leo in a playful way. We are not seriously making anything. We are just exploring the Leo energy. So while you guys are working, I'm going to just go ahead and put on some music. I'm going to leave these up as reminders. And with this, I want you to think about your accomplishments so far this year while you work, or even decorate a list if you start to feel stuck. Okay. Leo is not afraid to shine. So if it helps you move a little bit more with that Leo pride. Think about those things. You're a big, strong person. You're taking part in this. You're watching the recording. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're here right now. So let it shine. And remember, we're not focusing on an end product. This can look as weird and wild as you want. But with that said, bless me. I'm gonna give you space to just work. I'm gonna start putting on some music, and I'll be checking back in. Okay. Wait, just for a second. And of course, if you are watching this as a recording, please feel free to press pause and keep it moving. Because if you're in the flow, I don't want to throw you off. But I turn off my AC to make these videos, and it is very hot in here now. Because I use window units. So it's very hot. I need to cool off. Um, Pardon-moi. Uh, but I want you to just kind of reflect. Um, that is not what I thought was there. But the point is, we want to reflect. We want to think about what came up for us around the themes of Leo. What did you write down? Did anything related to that come up through your art? Did you write about your accomplishments if you felt stuck? Or did you just kind of like totally go off the rails and start with a circle and end with something completely different and weird? Um, yeah, let me know because I want to know. I want to know how this went for you. Please feel free to stay on if you want to chat about it. And of course, if you're watching the recording, please feel free to leave comments. Um, because we are part of this journey together. Until the next one, I hope you stay well, happy, healthy, and thriving, friends. And we will talk soon. Bye-bye.